The Young and the Restless spoilers. Full Wednesday update, full the 24th of June, 2026. Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is Monday, a beautiful day to sit back, grab a massive cup of coffee, and dive right into the absolute chaos that our favorite soap is serving up this week. Let's get right into the drama. I cannot believe they actually did that. I am literally sitting here vibrating with rage after watching the latest episodes because my mind is completely blown. I mean, we all know Victor Newman is a ruthless mastermind, but this is a whole new level of twisted, even for him. I've been watching this show religiously since 2015, and this is honestly the most despicable, brilliant, and horrifying thing they've ever written for the mustache. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up and explain exactly what I'm screaming about, because if you missed this week's developments, you are not ready for the sheer villainy unfolding in Genoa City. So we finally have the absolute truth about Nikki's terrifying headaches and blurred vision. For weeks, she has been brushing it off, stubbornly insisting that it's just her MS acting up again. Victoria literally begged her mother to see a doctor, and thank God she did, because the truth is so much worse than anyone anticipated. A brain tumor. Nikki Newman has a massive brain tumor pressing directly on her optic nerve. I am devastated for her. I really am. But what does Nikki do with this life-altering, terrifying information? She decides to hide it from Victor. Like, girl, what are you doing? I know their marriage is a complete and utter mess right now, but keeping a fatal diagnosis a secret from the most powerful man in town is just asking for a disaster. Remember when they tried this whole keep the illness a secret thing with other characters in the past? Yeah, didn't work then either. It always blows up in their faces spectacularly. Because here is where I lose my absolute mind. Victor finds out, of course he finds out he is Victor Newman. He decides to test Claire Grace Newman's loyalty just to get the inside scoop on his own wife. And instead of being a supportive, loving husband to the woman who is literally facing death, what does he do? He robs her blind. I am not kidding you right now. He plays the doting, worried husband, acting like he's shifting into ultimate protective mode, and he manipulates a terrified, vulnerable Nikki into signing a medical power of attorney so he can supposedly take care of her best interests. But hidden deep in that complex legal mumbo-jumbo, he transferred all of her personal shares in Newman Enterprises into a secret trust that he completely controls. I am screaming at my screen, and it gets worse. He is literally looting her estate before she even takes her last breath. Victoria is starting to catch on, and thank God she is, because Victor is currently keeping Nikki heavily sedated under the guise of special therapies while he rapidly liquidates her assets. This is pure, unadulterated evil. I mean, I love a good villain era, but this is his wife, the mother of his children. How is Victoria going to stop him when Nikki's too drugged out of her mind to even realize she's been robbed of her entire legacy? I am so stressed out just thinking about it. But wait, where do Nate Hastings and Stephanie Simmons fit into this absolute nightmare? Nate is suddenly sworn to secrecy midweek. Then Stephanie approaches Nate about a special project. Is this special project Victor's shady medical treatment for Nikki? Are they the ones keeping her drugged up so Victor can steal her company out from under her? If Nate is participating in this, I swear I am completely done with him. He used to be such a good, ethical doctor. Now he's just a corporate pawn willing to do whatever a billionaire tells him. But maybe, just maybe, Stephanie and Nate are secretly trying to figure out a way to save Nikki's life. I kind of hope so. Because right now, the Newman matriarch has zero allies in that house. I know some people are loving Victor's ruthless return to form, but personally, I think this crosses a massive line. And speaking of the Newmans being a complete disaster class right now, can we talk about Nick? My heart is breaking into a million pieces for him. He just survived that horrific car crash in Vegas after getting hopped up on fentanyl and cocaine because of Matt Clark's sick, twisted games. Now he finds out his mom has a brain tumor and might be dying. This is the ultimate trigger. The spoilers say Nick is going to struggle hardcore with temptation this week, and I am terrified he's going to relapse. I mean, he's already hanging by a thread, bizarrely trying to help Matt regain his memory just so he can punch him with a clear conscience. Nick's mental state is entirely fractured. If he loses his mom, or if he finds out what his dad is doing to her, he is going to spiral straight back into the drugs. Which brings me to the absolute idiot of the week, Noah Newman. Noah, honey, what in the world are you doing? He is actively provoking Matt Clark at the ranch, like literally poking a rabid bear with a stick. Matt is pretending to have amnesia, but we all know that monster is still in there calculating his next move. Adam is supposed to be babysitting Matt on Victor's orders, but Noah is pushing and pushing, trying to get a reaction. I know Noah is still deeply traumatized by what Matt did to him and Sharon in the past, but trying to trigger a psychopath's killer instinct is not a valid survival strategy. Am I the only one who thinks Noah is going to get himself severely hurt? Matt is just playing the long game here. I am dreading the moment Matt's mask finally slips, because Noah will not see it coming, and it is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Okay, back to the point, because we have to talk about the Abbott family circus. Kyle is finally getting a promising lead on Diane's disappearance. It is about time. Jack is over here completely losing his mind, being blackmailed for sex by Patty Williams just to get information on his missing wife. Patty literally showed Jack a picture of Diane unconscious in a padded cell. And we know Diane is actually locked in that creepy barred room with Dr. Lawrence Markham, who is basically gaslighting her into thinking she had a severe mental breakdown. I swear, if Markham turns out to be Martin Laurent with a surgically altered face, I am going to lose it entirely. Kyle needs to follow this lead and bust down that door immediately. I know some people are loving seeing Diane tortured, but personally, I need her back in Genoa City so she can rip Patty to shreds. Because let's be real, Jack is drowning in desperation. He is so desperate to save his wife that he might actually cave to Patty's disgusting demands to recreate their yacht magic. Just saying that makes me want to gag. Tracy is doing her best to play psychological warfare with Patty, reminding her of the mental ward to scare her, but Patty is completely delusional and obsessed. If Kyle doesn't find Diane soon, Jack is going to make a massive, regrettable mistake that will haunt him forever. And with Victor currently distracted by stealing his own dying wife's company, Jack doesn't even know the half of the danger lurking around town. The stakes have literally never been higher for the Abbotts. And just when you thought things couldn't get any more chaotic, we have some massive casting news to discuss. Lauren Koslow is stepping in as a temporary recast for Jill Abbott starting June 25th. I am so here for this. Lauren is an absolute soap legend, and I kind of want to see what kind of energy she brings to the iconic role of Jill. But the timing couldn't be more dramatic. She's going to be sharing scenes with Billy and Sally right out of the gate. Oh boy. Sally just lost her baby in that horrific car crash after running out into a blinding rainstorm because Billy and Jill cruelly questioned the paternity. Sally is completely broken, physically and emotionally, and Billy is drowning in well-deserved guilt. Jill's arrival is going to be like dropping a lit match into a room full of gasoline. Is Jill going to show some actual remorse for driving Sally into that storm? Or is she going to double down and blame Sally for everything, like she always does? Knowing Jill, she's going to be ruthless and unapologetic. I am so worried for Sally. She has already lost Ava with Adam, and now this baby with Billy, and she's leaning on Audra, of all people, for emotional support because she has no one else. If Jill comes in guns blazing, Sally might completely snap. I want Sally to read Billy and Jill for filth. They deserve it. They pushed her to the absolute edge. I just hope Lauren Koslow brings that fierce, unapologetic Jill energy so the confrontation is as epic as we all need it to be. So yeah, I am emotionally exhausted, and it's only Monday. We have Victor robbing a dying Nicky, Nick on the verge of a tragic relapse, Noah trying to get himself murdered by Matt Clark, Kyle playing desperate detective, and Jill about to tear into a grieving Sally. This show is giving us everything right now, and I am strapped in for the ride. I kind of hate myself for loving it so much, but here we are, addicted as ever. I just don't know how much more my nerves can take. Let me know if you guys are as stressed out as I am, because I definitely need to talk this out with people who actually get it.